And we have joining us live in the studio Tosin Akande, who is indeed a lawyer, to discuss the anti-gay law. Glad to have you join us at this time. Did you expect this? Did you expect this by any means? I mean, it's been an outburst so far. So many people kicking against it in Nigeria. Is this tribal? Is this no to same-sex marriage a tribal thing for Nigeria? Is it a religious thing? How do we classify this?
First and foremost, we must express little or no surprise at the outburst that greeted this law that has been signed last week by the Western Hemisphere. You see, they introduced the Bible, and if you look at the biblical aspects of the issue, part of the sources of law that you will be taught in jurisprudence class anywhere in the world is that Judeo-Christian values are part of the things that bring about the present law as we have it. And it's in their Bible which they introduced to us that, look, even the heavens frown at same-sex marriage. So why are they now in this age and era trying to make us go back into what their own Bible forbids?
Let's go back to your profession now. You are a lawyer.
Yeah.
Is this the right step to take? Is Jonathan doing the right thing?
For sure. The Nigerian government has done the exact thing that is expected of them, because law is not law until you look at the dynamics of it. You see, according to some philosophers who are based in Germany, there's the concept of Volksgeist, the spirit of the people. No law is law until it takes cognizance of the nature and the culture and the tendencies, the practices of the people that it's meant to serve. So what President Jonathan has done is in line with the aspirations of the Nigerian people. And I need to shed one or two lights on some things for Nigerians and the international community at large. You see, this signing into law is not something entirely new to the Nigerian law. There is a semblance of this in what we call the Nigerian Criminal Code. Section 214 and 215 of the Nigerian Criminal Code forbids the act, please, mind my language, forbids the act, not the marriage. So what this law has done is to forbid the marriage, and there is a difference. There is a wide hiatus between both.
Are you saying that the act is lawful now? You can do the act.
Forbids the act. It's not lawful for you to do it. But what I'm trying to say is that people can do this without getting married. That's what the criminal code forbids. Now, this one is creative in the sense that it forbids the marriage. So both laws are now going to work, in tandem, pari passu, to ensure that perpetrators of such abnormality are brought to book.
Which provisions in this law worries you the most?
For me, I'm not worried. I'm happy. It's a welcome development for Nigerians and for any right-thinking individual. It's good. Don't you understand, Gimba? What we are saying is that Nigerians are saying no to same-sex marriage. It's an act against the order of nature.
Is it evil?
It is. It is, because they introduced it. You see, if in law, you have to be careful when you are talking about the concept of what is right and what is wrong, and the concept of what is moral and what is immoral. So when you talk about what is right and what is wrong, you are talking about the notions of propriety. It's not proper. You and I know this.
But what about the fundamental human rights of the gays and lesbians?
Now we have to explain this. You see, for every law, there are rights and there are what we call restrictions. You see, Section 45 of our Constitution, for instance, says that in defense of public morality, which this issue falls under, in defense of public good, public safety, public health, all the rights that have been itemized before Section 45 will be curtailed. And I'm sure that I was watching Senator John Kerry explain disgust at the signing into law by the President of Nigeria, and I'm dismayed. You see, when you go into international treaties, there's what we call reservations. I want to believe that our foreign ministers, foreign affairs ministers in time past must have entered reservations on behalf of Nigeria that, look, all this law will apply in Nigeria subject to probably local circumstances. So I understand international law provisions is very important, it's sacrosanct, but I'm sure there is a clause for reservations. And
are you not concerned that already the police in Nigeria, northern Nigeria especially, are already carrying out arrests and violating the rights of the gays?
No, Gimba, they are not. Immediately the law was signed, it came into full force.
It's not human to do that.
Why?
You tell me?
It's not human to do, yes, it's not human to do same-sex marriage. It's not human to do bestiality. That's talking about having, non-procreative sex with animals. other than human beings. What do you want to achieve sleeping with a man? And you say it's a right. It's not a right. It's an abuse of rights. We don't call it human rights. I have a coinage for it. Human wrongs. It's an human wrong. You don't do that. So there is some degree of morality that informs the law that is in place, not only in Nigeria, even over there in the West. So they need to come to terms with this. We are not going to allow this happen. No, not in our lifetime.
Many thanks indeed for giving us your views, Tunde.
It's a pleasure.
Tosin Akande, rather,
You're welcome.
A lawyer, speaking to us about the same-sex marriage bill that has been passed in Nigeria.